your bank is costing you money. Now, let me be clear. I'm not against banks. Banks serve an important purpose. But there is one passage in the Bible that completely changed how I think about my bank account. I'm not saying banks are bad or evil. I want to make that clear. But I do believe that if people understood what Jesus actually praised in the parable of the talent, many would stop leaving large amount of money sitting idle in banks for a long period of time, unless that money is set aside for an emergency. Here is what surprised me. Jesus actually mentioned banks, but not in the way most people think. And what he placed wasn't simply putting money in the bank account. There is one detail in that parable that completely changed how I think about saving money, investing, and stewardship. Let's read what the Bible says in the book of Matthew 25, verse number 16. The man who received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. Did you catch the phrase, went at once? The detail matters, and that is what many people miss. This guy immediately went and put his money to work. The same was true of the servant who received 2 bags of gold. But the servant who received 1 bag of gold did something unorthodox. This guy dug a hole in the ground and hid his master's money. Then we come to Matthew 25, verse number 27. This is the verse that many people overlook. Jesus told the servant who buried his money, hear this, that he could have at least deposited the money with the bankers. Watch this, so that he could earn interest. But I want to notice what Jesus praised. The first and second servant, because they put their money to work immediately. Only when the third servant failed to act did Jesus mention depositing the money with the bankers to earn an interest. Think about that order. Putting money to work was the example that received praise. Depositing money with bankers was presented as the minimum action instead of doing nothing with the money. That distinction completely changed how I think about saving, investing, and stewardship. Doing nothing with money is what Jesus rebuked. Now let us apply that principle today. Every Christian should have an emergency fund, somewhere safe that you can keep your money and access it when you need or when need arises. But what about money that sits idle for months, even years, with no purpose? Imagine you have $100,000 sitting idle in a bank for 5 years with no purpose, earning little or nothing. In many cases, that money helps the bank more than it helps you. The bank can use those deposits to make loans and earn interest, while your money barely grows. While your money is sitting idle in a bank, inflation keeps rising. So the purchasing power of your money declines over time. So you may have the same amount of money during withdrawal, but the amount will buy less than before. That is not the kind of stewardship Jesus praised. Always ask yourself, is my money serving God's purpose? Or is it sitting idle in a bank somewhere, or in a house or at a mattress? For some people, that means investing in a productive business or owning income-generating assets. But for others, it may mean using saving vehicles that earn competitive interest while preserving liquidity. The principle is the same. Money is meant to be a servant working for you while you sleep. So, did Jesus condemn banks? No. He simply presented depositing money with bankers as a minimum response in his illustration. The example he praised was putting money to productive use. So, my friend, if you have money sitting idle without a purpose, ask yourself whether there is a better way to put that money to work.